In a triangle, there are four types of special lines, namely the triangle's altitudes, medians, angle bisectors, and perpendicular bisectors. In this video, we're going to learn about the altitudes, medians, angle bisectors, and perpendicular bisectors of a scalene acute triangle. A scalene acute triangle has all three sides of different lengths, as well as three acute angles. An altitude is the perpendicular projection of a vertex onto the side opposite the vertex. A triangle has three altitudes, which intersect at a single point called the orthocentre, typically denoted by the letter H. The orthocentre of an acute triangle lies inside the triangle, while the orthocentre of a right triangle lies at the vertex where the right angle is located, and the orthocentre of an obtuse triangle lies outside the triangle. A median is a line segment drawn from a vertex to the midpoint of the side opposite the vertex. A triangle has three medians, which intersect at a single point called the centroid, typically denoted by the letter G. If the triangle were a physical object made of a uniform material, it would balance perfectly at its centroid. This is why the centroid is also called the center of mass, or the balance point of the triangle. The centroid is always located inside the triangle, regardless of the type of triangle. Since all the medians lie entirely within the triangle, their point of intersection, the centroid, must also lie inside the triangle. The bisector of an angle is a line that divides the angle into two congruent angles. A triangle has three angle bisectors, which intersect at a single point called the incentre, typically denoted by the letter I. The incentre is the center of the incircle, i.e., the circle inscribed within the triangle, which is tangent to all three sides of the triangle. The incentre is always located inside the triangle, regardless of the type of triangle. Since all the angle bisectors lie entirely within the triangle, their point of intersection, the incentre, must also lie inside the triangle. The incentre is equidistant from all three sides of the triangle. This means that the radius of the incircle is the perpendicular distance from the incentre to any side of the triangle. This is because the incircle is tangent to all three sides, and the radius is the shortest distance from the incentre to any of these sides. The perpendicular bisector of a side is a line that intersects the side at a right angle and divides it into two congruent line segments. A triangle has three perpendicular bisectors, which intersect at a single point called the circumcentre, typically denoted by the letter O. The circumcentre is the center of the circumcircle, i.e., the circle that passes through all three vertices of the triangle. The circumcentre of an acute triangle lies inside the triangle, while the circumcentre of a right triangle lies at the midpoint of the hypotenuse, and the circumcentre of an obtuse triangle lies outside the triangle. The circumcentre is equidistant from all three vertices of the triangle, meaning the distance from the circumcentre to any vertex is the same. This distance is the radius of the circumcircle. Like, share, and leave a comment. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel.